Hello and welcome to MtG. My name is Vyacheslav, and if you like my videos, please support me by leave a comment, press the like button or subscribe to the channel. And today I tell you about Erhnamgeddon. It's very nice deck for old school magic. It's actually not bad as a powerful deck, and also good as a budget one. It can be easily built and can be splashed to other colors for more interest, more deep player experience. You know, each color will be different, slightly. So, plan of the topic will be, at the first I tell you about main cards of the deck and game plan, then show you my budget version. Nice to start, because it's really budget, even without duels. Then tell you about extra options, cheap or expensive, different, and for main and for sideboard. And then we will talk about different color splashes for blue, red and black that make deck more interesting. And of course I show you much powerful version of the deck that you can build too. Let's start from the main part. Deck name is Erhnamgeddon, and it includes two words and two cards, main cards of the deck, Erhnamgeddon and Armageddon. Jinn is big creature, one of the biggest in old school magic and absolutely biggest in this deck. And Armageddon is a nice white card, destroy all lands, so game plan is put on to play big Jinn and then use Armageddon to destroy lands. Your opponent will have not lands, you too, but you have big Jinn, and opponent don't have big Jinn. Looks fine, but what to do if opponent have big Jinn too? If he play it faster? It's easy for play our big Jinn and our Armageddon before opponent can play any big spells. We use the mana ramp. It's of course much popular in old school artifact mana ramp, Soul Ring. Restricted but very strong and not expensive. Some number of Llanowar Elves, 1/1 for 1 green to generate green, very nice for deck because we have a lot of green spells. And I think best budget mana ramp creature, Birds of Paradise. It's help you to splash of the second color and the third color because birds generate mana of any color. Also bird can block the flying creature if you need it in the future. And ramp is very nice. Of course we can draw ramp spells, but don't draw big creature, like single Erhnamgeddon, so we need more creatures in the deck. And we have Savannah Lion, nice one creature, 2/1 for 1 mana. It's very powerful in old school magic, not so in modern magic, but I remember that something like 15 years ago, one of people in my MtG community dropped the magic because can't afford Savannah Lions. It was so expensive. It's very nice because it's fast. You can be aggressive and then destroy lands and finish your opponent fast. Second, cheap creatures, Argothian Pixies. 2/1/2, not for 1 mana, but with very good for format ability. It's like protection from artifacts. It can be blocked by artifacts, can take damage from artifacts, so the skeleton can kill it, and prevent all damage from artifacts, yeah. It can block any big artifact creature a lot of time, anytime, all game. It's very nice in metagame with artifact decks, and you know, in old school magic, Mishra's Factory very important card, and Mishra's Factory is artifact creature when it's animated. Again. And of course it's little creatures, but we also can put into play a more big one. And this is legendary Serra Angel. For 5 mana, 4/4, not so big like Erhnamgeddon, but with flying and vigilance, so Serra can go to attack and block, you know, very powerful, very good card. One more important part of the deck, mostly budget versions, is of course the accessibilization and good way to draw land cards after you use Armageddon, land tax. When you open more lands than you will find basic lands into your hand. It's nice at the start. If you start with Mana Dork and play tax, you can drop, skip 1 land drop and draw so many lands as you want. If you start from land tax and Mana Dork, you can skip some land drops to activate it and find lands for the future. And of course, when you play Armageddon and the opponent wants to play spells to protect himself from your big creatures, he needs to play lands, and your land tax will work. One more card is a good combo with land tax, Sylvan Library. It's good by itself because you can control your top decks, draw 1 of 3 cards, and even draw extra cards. But with land tax you can also shuffle your deck, so you can look at the 3 cards, draw only 1 that you need, remove 2 that you don't need, and shuffle your deck with land tax ability after it. It's very nice. And of course, if you play in the powerful metagame when opponents have Moxens, to activate your land tax you need Moxens too. But deck can work without them too. It's fine. If your opponent still have ramp 2 and put into play big creatures before your Erhnamgeddon, you can just kill them. Kill them by Swords to Plowshares, Best Fight removal, or if it's artifact creatures by Disenchant. Also Disenchant help you against any artifacts, enchantments. You know, very good card in oldschool Magic. And that includes so good white and green cards, so they even restricted. I mean Balance, that can win game from the just top deck sometimes, and Regrowths, that can help you to play more big creatures, more Erhnamgeddons if they are on your graveyard. And also Regrowths can return your Balance. Of course, if you will play with power, Regrowths will be much more powerful. You know, it's white-green deck, so important part of mana-based stabilization like Savannah. But, you know, dual lands expensive and you can use just City of Brass. It's slightly painful, of course, but much more cheaper than dual lands. But if you have duals, of course, use them. Sometimes you can use something like 3/3 or 4/2 if you have dual lands again. Strip Mine is very nice in this deck. Looks like it's not so good because you will play Erhnamgeddon anyway in the Destroy Lands, but it's a really nice fast answer for Library of Alexandria, and if you play with budget, not only actually, even with Moxens, you know, it's sometimes very nice, very good trick. If your opponent have same number of lands than you can play Strip Mine and destroy one of your lands and activate your land tax. It's work very well. Sometimes it's a surprise to your opponent. Because, you know, players who try to avoid your land tax effect just don't drop lands and try to be careful with this land drop magic. And also save lands for your Erhnamgeddon for future. Factory, one of best lands in oldschool Magic, you know, it's have very bad combo with Erhnamgeddon because you destroy all your lands including Factory. But I think at least in 2-colored version of the deck, you have a place for at least 3 copies of Factories. Factory is very nice. I don't think it's good to drop it without really serious reason, and just 3 copies of Erhnamgeddon in your deck is not serious reason. I prefer to use Factories in this deck anyway. And now it's time to show you my budget Erhnamgeddon list. As you can see, it don't contains dual lands, so pretty cheap. And it includes all cards that I tell you about before, all important cards for this deck. It not have Llanowar Elves, but you can use Llanowar Elves instead of birds or instead of lions, or by some different mix. Llanowar Elves is like one very good option too. And of course you can change this deck, you can use some extra options. Like if you need more big creatures, if you sense it by playing in the game, you can put Suchi or Juggernauts. So you will have not only big Djinns and Seras, but also these big guys. Sometimes it can be fine. Also a good idea for this deck is a Preacher. This very good card from the dark. For tap, it's still your opponent creature. Very nice. Very nice if your opponent have big Djinn too, but you have Preacher and still it says Djinn. It will be okay. Elvish Archers can be interesting. It's some fine moment because, of course, Pixies is very good, but you have Erhnamgeddon, so you will destroy much more dangerous artifact creatures on the table. I mean, Mishra's Factories from your opponent. And in this case, First Strike ability is much more better than protection from artifacts. But in meta with artifact decks that have Triskelions, I think Archers actually bad, because Triskelion kill it very easy. At the same time, Pixie will live and block Triskelion. One more interesting card is Gelung Tome. In this deck it's like Gem the Tome. If your land tax work, it's just cheaper Gem the Tome, because you will draw cards, discard lands, and you will have a lot of lands by help of land tax. Nice combo, one more. And of course Icy Manipulator is good too, because Icy Manipulator costs 4, but its ability to tap a permanent costs just 1. So after Erhnamgeddon you can tap your opponent creatures to go to attack, even if it's big creature, and tap land that your opponent will play. So he will still slow, he will need more mana sources to play, and will activate your land tax if you have it. Sideboard options for deck, it's simply good green and white cards and also artifacts. It's Circle of Protection red against aggressive red decks with fireballs and, lightning bolts, all this stuff. Ivory Tower for the same cases with land taxes grid combo. Important moment that you can use your land tax and find lands before use your Ivory Tower, so you will gain a lot of lives if you find all 3 lands. Black Vice is interesting too, especially against control decks, because after you play Erhnamgeddon, your opponent will have chance to don't play spells, but even if you have not creatures, you can win by Black Vice. It will do a lot of damage if your opponent can drop lands and can't play spells, just draw cards each turn. Dust to Dust is very nice. For sometimes, I think for artifact heavy metagame, you can put it into main deck. For 3 mana, exile 2 artifacts, it's a nice effect. But it's absolutely good in sideboard, because if you have only 1 artifact deck in your metagame and will play against, nice to side in Dust to Dust. Tsunami, for 4 mana, destroy all islands. In some rare matchups, it's like Erhnamgeddon but one-sided, because destroy only your opponent's lands. But it not destroys lands like City of Brass or Mission's Factory, so good answer for duels and just islands. Sometimes very well. Willing Dervish against Mono Black. Black creatures can't block Dervish, and Dervish will become bigger. Also, you can play fast Dervish at the start, and for the turn we play Erhnamgeddon, it will be so big as a MtG, so nice. Spirit Link, one more removal for 1 mana. It can, of course, give lifelink to one of your creatures, big creatures like Serra or Erhnam, and you will gain life with each attack. But also you can enchant opponent creature, and when that creature will deal damage to you, you will gain life back. Of course, it's not work if you have not so many lives, because it's trigger ability, and life will be gained after you lose life from damage. And I've seen many people use Wrath of God. I tried too, but I don't think it's a good idea in this deck, because you have so many mana dorks, and you will just destroy them by Wrath of God too. But in some cases, when your opponent have too height, too big table, and creatures like Siege Troll with regeneration, Wrath of God can be very helpful sideboard card. And of course, even if you will not use blue power, you can still put parts of artifact power in this deck without any splash. I already mentioned it, green and white Moxens, and very popular House Orb, card that have very unique ability. You can use it only in old school Magic, no one else. And now it's time to talk about extractions from other colors. And let's start from blue, and even let's start from a best version of this deck, most expensive, that will have actually all power. So sometimes I think that the deck is named Bantnamgeddon, because it's a modern name for white, blue and green color combination. But I think it's not sound very old school, right? But anyway, it's a good name. It's actually like green and white Erhnamgeddon, but it contains all power, Moxens, Black Lotus and blue spells, of course. And it contains good mana base to cast it. So you need not only Savannah, but also Tropical Island and Tundra to play your blue spells. So with this mana base, you will have not so many basic lands, and you actually remove land tax from the deck, at least to put into the deck the spells from Power 9, blue, exactly 3 copies, and I will give you similar advantage when you will play it. Also, you have one of very good creatures, very good aggressive creatures, Serendipity Fleet. Even without Moxens, you can play it by bird on the second turn. So you remove some small creatures too. And because you already have very powerful deck with good mana base, why not to put into this best black cards, Demonic Tutor and Mind Twist. I think this deck may be not very good against City in the battle, because you need some City of Brass, and your main creatures is the Serendipity Fleet and Erhnamgeddon from Arabian Nights, so they will be killed by City in the battle. But at the same time, deck is very popular. Not tier S, but still good, still strong deck and powerful. But it's not only way to use blue in this deck. You can make something budget too. Of course, you can put into deck the Serendipity Freeze from blue, and also Energy Flux. It's very nice combo with Erhnamgeddon, because Erhnamgeddon destroy opponent lands, but opponent still can have on the table Moxons or other artifact mana, and Flux destroy it. So if you play Birds and Flux on the second turn, it can be very nice start against many artifact decks, and even against control decks like this deck, powerful decks that have Moxons. Also, you can put into your deck Psionic Blast as extra removal and extra way to win the game, because 4 points of damage can finish the game on the moment when your opponent don't waiting for it. And maybe Brain Gazer, but I don't sure about this double cost. And also, you know, we will use Erhnamgeddon, so we will have not so many mana. Brain Gazer will be not so effective, but why not? It's still a good card. In the sideboard from blue we can use Blue Elemental Blast against red decks, and Red Elemental Blasts that will try to kill our Serendipity Freeze, sorry. And Control Magic to, again, take your opponent big creature. Like a Preacher, Control Magic can steal your opponent creatures, and it will be very nice to you if you want to conquer the board. Second color that you can use in the Erhnamgeddon deck is red. Here we start from the sideboard, because most important, in my opinion, card in the red for full Oldschool Magic is a Red Elemental Blast. It can kill a lot of popular permanents, counter a lot of popular power spells, and counter spell, of course, why not? Also in sideboard you can use Blood Moon. Erhnamgeddon can destroy all lands, but for some decks Blood Moon is much more terrible, because some decks that have a lot of nice expensive mana base don't use red color, and with all these mountains they must play more lands to activate your turn attacks, and can't play spells, can't cast the spells if Blood Moon on the table. In the main deck you can use Lightning Bolts. Of course, it's against extra removal, and sometimes you can win the game by Lightning Bolt. I think that people used Fireball, but I don't think it's a nice combo. Of course, we have a lot of ramp to play big spells, but also we try to destroy lands, and it means that we need to play Fireball before we play Erhnamgeddon, so of course we can kill a lot of little creatures, it's nice, but I'm not sure about this card. And actually I like Land's Edge in the Erhnamgeddon with red. I even name my version of the deck Erhnamgeddon, because it contains Land's Edge, and Erhnamgeddon and Erhnamgeddon. It's I think it's fine, because it's extra attack way. You play big creatures, opponent try to fight against, kill them, and when you drop Land's Edge, find basics from your land tax and finish the game by a combo. It's nice, I like it. Oh, of course we also can use Feel of Fortune to refresh our hand to 7-card back. Last color, it will be interesting. I don't mention it, but in this budget splash versions you still can use some duals to make mana base better, to fix your stabilization. But with black it will be slightly different. Of course, first version of black addition to deck is simple, it's most important black cards. Demonic Tutor and Mind Twist. Mastery will find by Demonic Tutor Mind Twist, I think. And we already have the 4 City of Brass, already have 4 Birds of Paradise, so it's actually good to play the 2 black spells in your deck. For safety you can put 1 Swamp to find it by land tax, in case of need. But also it's other card that you can use from black color. It's also very popular in the 10 points Oldschool Magic, as I seen. Most of Erhnamgeddon decks here have black for this card. It's Dark Heart of the Wood. Very nice enchantment for 2 mana, black and green. It helps you to sacrifice a forest to gain free life. It's good combo with land tax, because if you have more lands than your opponent, you play lands to, I don't know, play Serra Angel as a fast. Then you can play Dark Heart, sacrifice some forests, and oh, land tax work again. You can use it to find lands and play Erhnamgeddon and still drop lands. But it has some mana base specifics, because you can sacrifice only forests, it's not Zura Norb, and you need more forest. And to use it card as a powerful effect, not as a not so powerful that will sacrifice only 2 lands in your game, you must use cards like Bio and Savannah. It's very important. You can change plains for Savannah, and change some forest to Bio. It will be good stabilization to play so many black spells, and also it will be more forests in your deck to use forest and activate land tax to use combo. For sideboard, black color have not so many options. I think it's only Terror maybe as extra removal. Nether Void can be interesting for main deck because it's one more way to use Armageddon-like effect. Yeah, Nether Void to prevent your opponent possibility to play spells. But I think there's a different deck. It's all that I want to say. I don't remember any other options for Erhnamgeddon. If you remember, leave a comment about. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.